Good day, everyone. My name is David Tingstad. I am the chair of the Beresford Booth Business and Real Estate Group. And as such, I spend a lot of time on the Washington Secretary of State website. And so today I'd like to talk a little bit about that website and try to translate it a bit. And so I'll share my screen. I've got a little PowerPoint for you to try to decode, if you will, what we see on the website, and then I'll also share my screen. We can actually walk through the website a bit. In fact, maybe let's start with that instead. I will stop that share and start a new one, which is right here. Is the when you go to the Washington State Secretary of State website, this is what will come up. And because we're talking about businesses and we're not talking about elections and things of that nature, I go to the corporations and charities part, and where I spend a lot of my time is using this search tool right here. You can also download forms and things of that nature. And some of the forms are good, and frankly, some of them aren't. But for today's purposes, we're going to talk about their search tools. And so you don't have to worry about logging in to use that search tool. But you can go right here and start with, and we'll look for Beresford Booth, our law firm. And then you click search, and then this is because Beresford Booth is a unique name, only one thing comes up. So what you see here is some initial information. Yes, this has our name, and you can see there's a link there. This is our UBI number, Uniform Business Identifier. That's not as uniform as it once was. The kind of entity we are, we're a professional limited liability company. That's because PLLC, where our principal office is located and who our registered agent is. So if we click on this hyperlink, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting, because there's some information here that you have to be really careful about. And please, if you take nothing else away from today's discussion, you cannot rely on most of the information that is here, with the exception of the registered agent and the registered address. There is a filing history here, so you can go back and look at documents from a long time ago, changes, whatnot, if there's a name change, things of that nature. But if you look at any of these documents, here's an amendment that was done back in 2008. Let's see what it says. If you look at this, here is a change to make sure that we are a manager-managed LLC, back when that mattered. Our statute has been changed, and so it's not such a significant difference any longer. But this is not an official document. So if you needed to get something admitted as evidence, you would need to go get an official certified copy. So you can't rely on this. But it is available for viewing. I have, by the way, have not known them to put incorrect documents there. I'm just telling you this is not official. So there's a whole bunch of all of our annual reports for every business that is registered with the Secretary of State, every entity. But there is a word here. Look right here in this section. Governor and individual, and it lists my name, and that's it. Please understand that governor is and I'll get into the definition of that in a second, but this is probably the most confusing thing. People think that if you're a member of an LLC, that your name must be listed here. That is not true. Similarly, if you're a shareholder in a corporation, must your name be listed there? No. In fact, whoever's name is listed here, we don't know if they're an owner, a member, a shareholder, a director, an officer. We don't know. And so for a lot of people believe they go to the Secretary of State website and they see that someone's name is not there, and therefore, oh gosh, they have nothing to do with that entity. So for the rest of my time, what I want to do is try to help us understand what the term governor means in the context of the Secretary of State website. Governor does not mean shareholder. I got a problem here. I got to get rid of that and that. And it does not mean member. It does not mean officer. It could. Here's what the statute says. And by the way, this is not in our corporate statute. This is not in the LLC statute. This is not in the partnership statute. This is separate and apart. We have a hub and spoke model here. And so this is the hub statute. 2395 has a bunch of statutes that apply to all of our various kinds of entities. And that one of the definitions is the definition of a governor. It could be a director, whether it's a corporation, a profit or otherwise, could be a limited partner, could be a general partner, could be a manager or member. And then there's this catch-all. Any other person under whose authority the powers of an entity are exercised and under whose direction the activities and affairs of the entity are managed pursuant to the organic law and organic rules of the entity. So in other words, you'd have to go look at the corporate statute. You have to go look at the LLC Act, depending on what kind of entity that you're looking at. So don't be misled by the website, because there is no requirement on that website to list all or even any of the directors, officers, managers, members, or owners. I don't really know what an owner is. So when you go and you try to open a bank account, the person at the bank is going to go to the Secretary of State webpage, and they're going to look to see if your name is there. Why they do that, I don't really know, because you can't rely on it. But nevertheless, I know that's a thing. A lot of people insist on having their name listed there. If they're if they're a multi-member LLC, you got 5 members, and you only list one name on the Secretary of State webpage. Some people think, oh my gosh, that means I'm not a member. That is not where the names list. You must look at the LLC agreement in order to figure out who the members are. Listing what's on the Secretary of State's page largely doesn't matter. So the only thing that matters really is the name of the entity, its UBI number, and its registered agent. So I hope that clears up some confusion about what's on our Secretary of State's webpage. Please be careful with it. While it's a good source of some information, don't think that you can rely on it. We do tons of work with entities and setting up businesses, taking them down, helping them buy other businesses, sell themselves. Be pleased to help you. Hopefully this is a small snippet of information that helps you keep yourself organized. Thanks for attending the webinar. Give me a call if there's anything we can do to help you here. Number is listed there on the screen, and hope you have a fantastic day.